Hello, everyone. On this podcast episode, I'm going to talk about the purpose of life. Sorry, I had to cough. Many people believe the purpose of life, many scientists and just people in this world, they believe the purpose of life is to, advance society and become a better and better, society, We grow and become greater. We invent better things. We solve world hunger. We solve all the diseases. We cure all the diseases. And we solve all the problems in life, right? That's what most people believe, They believe life is about progress. But is it truly about progress? This world is infinite. Because this world is infinite, you'll never truly solve all your problems in life. Infinity is part of this world. Everything in this world appears finite, right? For example, your body appears finite. From your point of view, you have a head, you have legs, and you have your feet. You have arms, you know where the edge of your arm is. You know where the end of your head is. You know where the end of your legs are, right? You're finite. From everyone's point of view, that body of yours is finite. But the truth is, you're also infinite. And this is the duality of life. This world is both finite and infinite. Do you know what that means? It means that if you're someone who thinks that, you need to be the perfect person, guess what? You'll never be a perfect person. You'll keep chasing perfection infinitely. You'll never reach perfection. That's how life works. Your body is infinite. You have many cells in that body of yours. Each cell in that body of yours is composed of many atoms. Each atom in that body of yours is composed of many electrons, protons, and neutrons. Each of these protons and neutrons are composed of what? Many subatomic particles. And these subatomic particles are composed of more particles, smaller particles. And these smaller particles are composed of smaller particles. And these smaller particles are composed of even smaller particles. It just goes on infinitely. From our point of view, you're finite. But don't let that deceive you. You're not a finite person. You're infinite. You are an infinite being. Infinity creates the finite. Finite creates infinite. Finite creates infinity. This is how this world works. Many atheists believe that they don't want to believe that God exists because they want science. They want scientists to prove to them. They want scientists to first, understand the whole world first, If scientists haven't figured out the whole world, they will not believe that God exists. They want scientists to first look for God. If scientists don't find God, it means God does not exist. You don't know how God created this world. God created this world to be infinite. Everything you see is only finite from our point of view. It's an illusion. Nothing in this world is finite. It only appears finite from afar. Up close. The moment you start digging into the human body, the moment you start digging into a single pencil, you slowly start to realize that this pencil is composed of smaller particles, which are composed of smaller particles, which are composed of smaller particles, and it goes on infinitely. So is the pencil truly finite or infinite? It is both. A pencil will always be finite from our point of view. But from the point of view of God, a pencil is infinite. You are only finite from our point of view. You are truly infinite. This world is only finite from our point of view. This world, this very universe itself, is infinite. Earth alone is infinite. Do you know what that tells you? It tells you that if scientists just study the Earth alone, they will never fully understand the Earth. They will never truly understand the planet Earth. Because planet Earth is infinite. Just the Earth alone is infinite. They'll study and study and study and end up finding out that there's still more things to study. They'll learn and learn and learn and end up finding out there's still more things to learn. The world of scientists isn't a world where there's an end. It's a world where there was never a beginning, so there'll never be an end. A world where the beginning and the end no one knows. This is what infinity means. No matter how much you learn, you end up realizing that there's still more things in this world to learn, because this world is infinite. So if you're an atheist waiting for the science, for the world of science to figure out the whole world for you, you'll be waiting in vain. You wait till the day you die, and scientists will still tell you the same thing. We still need to know more information. We still don't have it all figured out yet. That's how life works. This world was never meant to be a world of knowledge. God does not test you on how much you know. God tests you on your character. Your character determines whether you go to heaven or not the amount of knowledge you've gained. This world is only temporary. You are permanent. So the entire world is created like a maze, an infinite maze. You will search and search and search, but you will never find the end. That's how this world is created. You will end up becoming, even if we become an intergalactic empire, we'll still be a small, tiny speck in the world, because the world is infinite. Even if we conquer the whole universe, our universe, we'll still be a tiny speck in the world, because the world is infinite. You have to understand how this world works. This world isn't a world of knowledge. This world isn't a world where, progressing somehow gets you anywhere. The world is designed this way to test you. You're being tested here. If you think knowledge is where, knowledge is all that matters, the more you know, the more God will bless you. You're wrong. This world tests you on your character. God watches everything you do. God watches how you treat others, how you treat children, how you treat men, how you treat women. God also watches how you treat animals. God watches every single thing you do. You could be the greatest genius in this world, but if you're an evil person, you'll still go to hell. And this is the trick, this is the trick that Satan used to trick Adam and Eve into eating the fruit. Adam and Eve thought, the fruit in the Bible, the fruit of knowledge, will somehow, give them some sort of boost. It doesn't. Knowledge means nothing. Your character is what matters. How you behave is what matters in this world, and nothing else. Because this world is just a maze. And that's all it'll ever be, a maze. It's fun to experience this world. There are infinite good things in this world and also infinite bad things in this world. If you go after hell, if you go towards the gates of hell, you find endless things that'll make you miserable. If you go towards the gates of heaven, you'll find endless things that'll make you happy. This is how this world works. If you think somehow that science will somehow make your life better, keep dreaming. It'll make your life easier, but it's only easier if you appreciate it. If you don't value what you have, even if you turn into an intergalactic empire, you still won't be satisfied. because it's not enough. If you don't value what you have, no matter how many things you have in this world, it'll never be enough. Greed is insatiable. The moment you become a greedy person, this world will never be enough, no matter how infinite it is. This is why greed is a sin. And the moment you start valuing what you have, just a little bit is enough. You don't need infinity. You just need one. Just one thing is enough. And the only thing you need in this world is God. That's all you need. Just God is enough. You have to understand the purpose of this world. The purpose of this world isn't for you, God doesn't care if you decide to create, an intergalactic empire. This world is made infinite for a reason, for you to explore, to enjoy life. But that's if you're someone who wants to go to heaven. If you're someone who wants to go to heaven, yes, you can enjoy this life. If you're someone who doesn't care about going to heaven, this life will be a miserable world for you. This life will be misery. And that's how this life works. Even if this world turns into a massive intergalactic empire, or some sort of fantasy world where we all have superpowers, it still won't matter. Your life will still be miserable. These material things will never help you in life. They won't. You have to change your mindset of this world, about this world. You have to change the way you treat others. You have to change the way you treat yourself. You have to be kinder to others and be kinder to yourself. That's the way towards heaven. Heaven starts when you start to value yourself. The road to heaven starts when you start to value yourself. And when you start to value the things you have already in life. If you ever think you can conquer the whole world, you're wrong. This world is infinite. The more you conquer, the more you realize there's still more things to conquer. The more you steal, the more you realize there's still more things to steal. The more you learn, the more you realize there's still more things to learn. This is how this world works. This is how infinity works. You'll never get to the end of infinity. Because getting to the end of infinity isn't the purpose of this world. This is why God doesn't really care about science that much. You see in the Bible, the Bible rarely talks about science. Because God doesn't care about science. God doesn't care about knowledge that much. Because knowledge is a massive trap. It tricks you into thinking you have power. You don't have power. You think because you're more knowledgeable, you'll have the world figured out. You'll never have this world figured out. You'll still be at the very beginning, as if you never moved to begin with. If scientists have cured, cancer, you end up realizing there's something even worse that cancer still left to cure. When scientists cure that, they'll end up realizing there's something even more worse than that to cure. It'll go on infinitely. This is the problem of our world. This world is infinite. Yet, we only live for at most 100 years. Our lifespan is finite. Yet this world is infinite. So, knock yourself out if you think you can, if you ever think you can get to infinity with a finite body, go ahead. But it's not going to work out for you. If you're waiting for scientists to figure the soul world out before you start to believe that God exists, it's not going to work out for you. Because scientists have already figured out that God exists. You don't want to listen to them. You don't want to listen to the truth. Because you don't want to listen to the truth, no matter where you search, you'll never find it. It's not that the truth is hiding from you. It's that you're hiding from the truth. God exists because you exist. Because you exist, it means God exists. You are a creation of God. And that's the basic fact of life. This world is a creation of God, and that's a basic fact of life as well. The purpose of life isn't what you think it is. It isn't to advance society, It isn't to create inventions and all these things. The purpose of life is to be a better person. The purpose of life is to grow, to make mistakes, learn from your own mistakes, and grow. It's not to pretend that, it's not to just sit and wait for scientists to figure things out for you. They'll never figure it all out. There are infinite things to figure out in this world, and scientists will never figure it all out. This is why I tell you to avoid these IQ tests. All these intelligent tests are scams. Because intelligence is infinite. Do you understand? I mean, these scientists will never truly figure out what intelligence truly means. They will never know what intelligence truly means. So what right do they have to, what right do they have to be creating an intelligence test when they're not as intelligent as you think they are? What right do they have to create such an arbitrary test when they don't have a good understanding of the world yet? They don't even truly understand what intelligence truly means. It takes infinity. It takes someone that's infinitely intelligent to truly understand intelligence. Humans are not infinitely intelligent. So, what right do they have to tell you what's truly intelligent and what isn't? This whole thing is a scam. They tell you only the things they want, they're telling you that the things they believe is intelligence, what's intelligence. If you behave the way they want, you're intelligent. If you don't behave the way they want, you're not intelligent. That's the whole intelligence test 101. That's the breakdown of this intelligence test. If you don't behave the way these guys want you to behave, you're not intelligent. In their eyes, you're not intelligent. But is that the truth? Is there arbitrary, questions? The arbitrary perspective, the ultimate, facts about intelligence? Do you really think they know about intelligence as much as you think they do? They probably don't. There's a high chance they have zero clue of what intelligence truly is. If they were intelligent enough to know that, they won't be creating an intelligence test. Someone who's truly intelligent will know that they don't have it all figured out yet. If they don't have it all figured out yet, they shouldn't be making tests as if they do. They shouldn't be telling someone who's more intelligent who isn't. When intelligence itself is still a field of study that hasn't been figured out yet. We don't have it all figured out, but we're already making claims that we do. Don't you think there's something wrong with that? So you have to really be careful of people who tell you they have it all figured out. This world is infinite. Scientists are still discovering organs within the human body. Scientists are still discovering, animals that we didn't think, existed. New species are still appearing on our planet on a yearly basis. New species. Just the Earth alone has far too much to understand, much less intelligence itself. Studying intelligence is like studying the world. It's not something you can just arbitrarily decide that this is intelligent, this is not. You must first have 100% grasp of what intelligence is before you can start, telling someone who's intelligent, who isn't. Stop trusting people, who lie to you. Stop trusting liars. And people who create these intelligence tests are nothing more than liars. It's some sort of money, or there's a high chance this is just a cash grab, a scam of one form or another. It's a scam. There's a way for them to make money from this. And that's where they're doing it. Or it can also be it could also be from the basic reason, a racist reason. That's the most basic reason to do these tests. A racist will create these tests and then we'll create this test. This is a behavioral test. It's not an intelligence test. It's a behavioral test. If you think the way they want you to think, you're an intelligent person. If you don't think the way they want you to think, you're not an intelligent person. This is not an intelligence test. It's a behavioral test. If you don't behave the way they want you to behave, they will label you dumb. But just because some random stranger labeled you dumb, does that mean you're dumb? No, it's a lie. Don't let them deceive you. And don't deceive yourself. Scientists will never figure this world out. This world is infinite. They will only know a finite version of it. And only a finite version. Just like you know a finite version of a human body. We only know the finite version of the infinite human. We don't know what's below the quantum level. There are infinite particles below the quantum level. And the human body is composed of quantum particles and sub-quantum particles. We haven't had the quantum level studied perfectly yet. We're still learning about the quantum level. We're still learning about the atomic level. Atoms haven't been fully figured out yet. The whole world still hasn't been figured out yet. And that's what you need to know. It'll probably never be figured out. You have to understand that. This world isn't a world of knowledge. This world isn't a world where a massive knowledge will get you very far. If your life was miserable as a normal person, even as the greatest scientist in this world, your life would still be miserable. Why? If you made bad choices in life, if you harm others, if you insult others, if you bully others, your life will still be miserable, whether you're Einstein or not, whether you have all the knowledge in this world or not. If you behave badly in this world, your life will be miserable. You will suffer. If you sin in this world, you will suffer, whether you have all the knowledge in this world or not. If you behave like these IQ test people and mock others, insult others for being dumb, creating arbitrary rules that make no logical sense if you actually think about it, your life will be miserable. You will suffer. This whole IQ test thing is a scam. And sooner or later, it'll be turned into a weapon. Into a weapon to what? A prejudicial weapon. This weapon will be used against you at some point in time. This IQ test is a weapon that will be used against you at some point in time. Because these IQ test people can change that question to target certain individuals. If they want to defame you, they can change the IQ test at any point in time to make it impossible for you to pass it. And then start mocking you for being a dumb person. This is how these tests works. You're giving someone power over you. Do not give these guys power over you. This world is a world of sin. Most people in this life are sinners. They're scammers, manipulators. If you allow random strangers you don't know their character, you don't know who they truly are, you just believe them because they say they're scientists. They say they're learned men. They're learned men. Do not just believe people just because they call themselves, just because they have a PhD. Just because you have a PhD does not mean you're a kind person. There are many people with PhD that have killed their family members. There are many people with PhD that have gone to jail for scamming others, for stealing, from violent crimes. Graduating school does not mean anything. It is not a test of your character in any way, shape, or form. Do not be deceived. If you let a scammer scam you, it's on you. It's on you and you alone. Read your Bible. The Bible will teach you to avoid scams. It teaches you to avoid sinners. It teaches you to avoid these racist and prejudicial things. It teaches you to avoid being prideful. You're not as intelligent as you think you are. There's always someone more intelligent than you are. There's always something more intelligent than you are. And that thing is God. And if God's telling you not to be so prejudiced against others, not to be creating these arbitrary rules about intelligence, we have no idea how, intelligence truly works. If God is telling you these things, it's telling you for a reason. The Bible isn't there, but the Bible tells you to build people up, not bring them down. The entire IQ test, system is to separate, to divide the population into those who they believe is smart and those who they believe is dumb. What do you think will happen in the future when these people create this test and everyone start taking this test? Those who would believe is dumb will sooner or later they'll start being treated like garbage. They'll start being mocked and insulted, bullied, or even killed. This is how this future starts. It starts with something as simple as a fake test like this IQ test. Sooner or later, some evil villain will take over this IQ test and use it to their own benefits. They'll change the rules, change the questions, if the questions haven't already been changed, to target people they hate. If the people they hate take this test, they'll always fail it. If the people they like, take this test, they'll always pass it. And they'll use this as an excuse to kill the people they hate. Because if they realize, if there's a test that shows that you're dumb, what's the point of you being in society? We don't need dumb people in society. Dumb people do not belong in the world. That's the mindset of most people. And if everyone takes this fake test that can be easily manipulated, these guys can automatically, arbitrarily start calling you dumb, even though you're smarter than they are. And everyone will believe it. And they could end up killing you in the future just from this alone. This is all they need to kill you in the future. This test. And that's what you need to be careful of. This test alone is all they need. People hate dumb people. So if they can create a fake test that can trick you into thinking you're smart or dumb, they can use this test to kill whoever they want. They use this test as an excuse to kill anyone, to imprison anyone, to put anyone in some sort of, insane asylum. You're too dumb to exist. So we'll cage you up in an insane asylum because the IQ test proves that you're too dumb to exist. This is the future we're going towards with that IQ test. And this is what you need to be careful of. Evil people love segregating society. Evil people love segregating people. Evil people love looking down on others. They love pretending they're better than everyone else. But are they really better than you? Do these so-called people IQ tests, higher IQs, truly better than you? It's a lie. This IQ test is a scam. It's all fake. No one is better than you in this world. No one will ever be better than you. Do not let these scammers trick you into thinking you're worthless. You're not. You may be smarter than they are. Even with the lowest IQ on the IQ test, you may actually be smarter than the people creating this IQ test. This is the duality of life. This is why life is so funny. The people who think they're the smartest may not be as smart as they think they are. The people who we think are the dumbest may not be as dumb as we think they are. And this is how life works. Be careful of people who create these segregation, mechanics in this world. Be careful of people who try to segregate society. Be careful of people who try to make people look down on you. Sooner or later, they'll start saying women are dumber than men. Sooner or later, they'll start saying men are dumber than women. Do you really believe women are dumber than men? I don't. Do you really believe men are dumber than women? I don't. This test, you have to be careful of it. The world of science is a world of pseudoscience as well. Hidden within the world of science is a lot of pseudoscience, a lot of scammers, and a lot of liars. And that's what you need to be careful of. Science is needed by society. Pseudoscience is not. But it's hard to tell the difference between the two. Because it's hard to tell the difference between the two. We get trapped by the liars. We get trapped in by the scammers. We get trapped in by the manipulators who only care about making money, who only care about using science as a tool to kill others, as a tool to segregate society, as a tool to make people look down on one person, one sex, one race. There are people in this world who use science to turn women into trash. They'll use science as an excuse to kill women. They'll use science as an excuse to kill men. They'll use science as an excuse to kill children. They'll use science as an excuse to kill the elderly. And these are the people you need to be afraid of. These are the people you need to be cautious of. And no matter how far society advances, these people will still be there. Satan will still be there, corrupting us, tricking us, scamming us. And that's what you need to be careful of. This life isn't a life of advancing anywhere. This life is a life of learning how you are, learning about yourself, learning to understand what sin is and what it is, what it isn't, and the consequences of sin. Because no matter how, advanced society becomes, if you still sin in this world, your life will still be miserable. And this is how this world works. No matter how far this world gets, no matter how advanced this world becomes, you will still be punished for your sins in this world. And you will still be rewarded for all the good things you do. And this is how this world works. Do not be tricked into thinking scientists will somehow have the perfect, the perfect thing that will save your life. They won't. The only person that can save your life in this world is God. And God alone. And the best way to get to God is through the Bible. Read your Bible. Learn from the wise in the Bible. And no matter how bad society gets, you'll be safe from all the harms in society. You'll be protected from evil people in this world. The less sin you commit, the more you're protected from evil. The more sin you commit, the more you'll be harmed by the evil things of this world. And this is how this world works. Knowledge means nothing. This is why after Adam and Eve ate the fruit of knowledge, nothing happened. Nothing beneficial happened. Because they already have all the knowledge. And all the knowledge they had was to not sin. Follow God's will. Follow the rules that God has created. That's all you need that's all you need to live a happy life, is to follow God. That's all you need. That's it for today's podcast episode. I pray for everyone's safety and understanding. Amen.